Ghostrider is a guy on the motorcycle that looks like a skeleton whose head is on fire. That's who Ghostrider is. You want me to tell you his story? You want to hear the story of Ghostrider?
Okay, yeah.
Which one do you want to hear first? The story of Fallen Rock or the story of Ghostrider?
The story of Ghostrider.
Okay, I'll tell you the story of Ghostrider. That's fair. And then after that, I'll tell you the story of Fallen Rock. And then after that, it's going to be bedtime, okay?
Okay.
Alright, turn off your flashlight so I can tell you the story of Ghostrider. No, I need it to make spooky face. I'm going to make spooky face. Ready? This is the story of Ghostrider. Ooh, ha, 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 ha. Is that funny?
Yeah.
Okay. Once there was a boy named Johnny Blaze, and he was a motorcycle daredevil. You know what a daredevil is? Somebody who does tricks. And he did tricks on his motorcycle, and so did his daddy, Barton Blaze. Well, Barton Blaze was sick, and he had cancer, and he was going to die soon. And Johnny didn't want his daddy to die from cancer. And then one day the devil showed up. You know who the devil is? He's the opposite of God. He's the bad guy. And he showed up and said, I'll make you a deal, Johnny Blaze. I'll make it so your daddy doesn't die of cancer. But you have to do my work and become the Ghostrider. And Johnny said, well, just as long as my daddy doesn't die of cancer, I guess I'll sell you my soul and I'll do what you want. And the devil said, okay, we've got a deal. But the devil's tricky. You should never make deals with the devil because the devil always lies whenever he makes deals. And so one day Barton Blaze was doing tricks on his motorcycle. And he crashed his motorcycle and died. Because the devil said, well, I'll make sure he doesn't die of cancer. Then he died of doing a trick. And since Johnny had already sold his soul to the devil, there's no way he could get out of it. And so, from that day forward, he was the Ghostrider, the spirit of vengeance. And whenever there was bad people around at night, Johnny Blaze would turn into the Ghostrider. And the Ghostrider had a spooky skeleton with a bike that was on fire, and his head would be on fire, and he would have to go and be the spirit of vengeance. And one day the devil said, okay, you don't have to do this anymore for me. And he said, I'm going to keep my Ghostrider powers. I'm going to keep my Ghostrider powers so I can fight you, devil. And that's the story of Ghostrider. I can't see you. You have to come at least right here. Here's the story of Fallen Rock.
Hey, that's cool idea.
Well, why don't you move up a little bit?
I can go.
Okay. Do you want to hear the story or do you want to go to bed?
I'm going to decide.
Okay. Okay. Long, long, long time ago, before there was cars, before there was paved roads.
That's it?
When there was nothing but woods. And there was a family of Indians that lived in the woods. And Indians were the first people here before white people came. And before white people brought the slaves over. It was just Indians. And they lived everywhere in the woods. And they lived in harmony with the woods. They knew everything, every plant, and everything to keep themselves well. Well, then old Whitey came along. And white people always had like this crazy, we own everything thing to them. Because they're just crazy. And so when they started moving here, they decided that they were going to run off the Indians and take their land. Because they could do whatever they want because they had guns. And it made them real mean. So they started camping and taking up all of Fallen Rock's land. And they were taking his land, and they were killing all the animals with their guns.
Why?
Because they didn't know any better. They didn't know how to live in harmony with nature. And so Fallen Rock got really mad. And so he went to one of the mean people's houses, and he burnt down their house and set it on fire. And the people got really mad, and they went to find Fallen Rock because they were going to shoot him with their guns. Well, they couldn't find Fallen Rock, but they happened to find his whole family. And so, since Fallen Rock was out somewhere trying to hunt for food, they shot his whole family dead. And Fallen Rock was mad. After that, he vowed that he would get his revenge on the white people. And so, for years and years, whenever back then they didn't have cars, they would have a cart that the horses pulled, and the cart would go down these little mountain roads. And every time at night, when they were going down mountain roads, Fallen Rock would lay a trap. He would dig big holes in the roads, or he would push big rocks off of the mountain, and it would knock their carts right off the road. Well, this is a long time ago, and eventually, Fallen Rock, no one saw him for a while, and he just became a legend. A lot of the people thought he just died because he was old and everything. But then when they made the Smoky Mountains into a park where people could come, every once in a while there would be reports of a crazy Indian jumping out at cars, especially at night. Like, he would scare them. He would scare the people driving the cars, and they would drive off the mountain, or they would drive off the road, or every once in a while he'd still push a rock into their car, or he would make a deer jump out in front of their car. And people hardly ever see him anymore. When they do, they just see his ghost, because he died a long time ago, and now he's a ghost. And what he does is, especially on dark nights, especially on windy nights, and on nights where it's really misty and foggy and it's hard to see, Fallen Rock still scares people driving their cars. And that's why there's signs in the Smoky Mountains that say, watch out for Fallen Rock.
Did you know? Okay, I'm going to tell you a story now, okay?
Okay, tell me a story now.
Wait, are you done with my story?
I'm done with my story. I want you to tell me a story now.
Okay. One time we was high when nobody was here. No trees were here. No cows were here. No stores were here. No cows were here. No playgrounds were here. No people are here. No, just one. And then everybody came to this one. And you know what happened?
What happened?
Ghostrider came and had a real huge family, full of idiots. He had terror of them. He had terror of the idiots. And then...
You know what Indians are really called?
What?
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Native Americans, because they were here first. I should have called them that instead of Indians. They're really Native. They're really Native Americans. That's what they are. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
And then what happened again?
What happened?
And then Ghostrider came to us. And then when Ghostrider came to us, we went behind us to walk. And they boomed us. They ate our face out.
Oh, Ghostrider doesn't eat faces. Now you're just telling a story. Ghostrider only scares bad people.
It's just a story,
Okay,
Daddy.
alright. That's a scary story. Go ahead, finish. He ate our faces off?
Uh-huh.
And then what happened?
And then he went to the top and ate everybody's face off. He ate his family's face off. And then every idiot got a real fire gun.
Wow.
And one kid got a real gun. One kid got a real gun, and then the kid got it there. And then a husband goes to our cave and scared him in there.
Is that Ghostrider in that truck over there? Oh no! Is that Ghostrider in that truck?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a truck? Okay, I'm all spooked now because of it. You got me all scared with your story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go turn off the movie machine now, okay? You wanna tell the camera? Thank you for listening to our spooky campfire stories. This is Jason and
Orion.
saying good night and